I've been trying to fight the demons in my mind. I'll prevail with every battle if I'm right. Guess my aim was off, the target's out of sight. Would I be better if I left it all behind? 'Cause we can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way. We can find a way. We can find a way. Just take my hand. We'll leave this place behind. No second chance. I know there's more to find. 'Cause we can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way. We can find a find a way as I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light, better light. eyes to the night so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky.
I caught you guys. You thought it was frozen or something, didn't you? You thought for a second, at least a split second. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Indiana Tech Esports. We're back. We had Valorant last week, which was very great. We started off strong, started off the semester strong. Now we are here, and this is legit stuff here. We're not quite into the meat and potatoes per se of the season. We are here to do some placements tonight. We are going up against St. Mary's University, which is in Halifax, Canada. Now you might be thinking, Canada? That's what I was thinking too. So if you're anything like me and questioning Canada, they are a part of North America, so stop questioning it. It just makes sense. We are unaware of the skill level of this team. So we are excited. I'm excited. We are all excited. You guys should be excited for tonight because if it's anything like last week, our team is going to put up a very nice fight. We had a 13-0 first win, and then it was 13-4, I believe, on the second win. So a very, very strong start to this season for our Valorant team. And in our post-game interview as well, we got to get just a little sliver of insight from our teams, just kind of on what they've been doing, what they've been working on, and what they're going to be working on, but not too much because they don't want to give it away. Enemy teams, if you're watching this, we're on to you. We know you're watching this for intel. It's okay. We respect it. As you can see, as I did last week, I mean, look at this new scenery. If you haven't, just soaked it all up, look at this. Isn't it so beautiful, so nice? We got a nice stream package made over the summer, and it's just great. It's so good, so clean, a little aesthetic background. We got Maximus over there to the side. And let me talk about agent selection here. Well, our team is already hovering. 3 of us are already locked in. We got a Neon, Omen, Sova locked, and we've got Cypher and Viper on the hover here. St. Mary's looking like they're going to be going for a couple similar picks here with Sova and Cypher currently being hovered. None locked in as of now. And we are going to be going into Haven. Arguably the map of all maps of Valorant. If you don't know Valorant, but you kind of know Valorant, you probably know Haven. Haven's probably one of the most known maps, aside from maybe Icebox and probably Ascent. We are getting identical comps here. We mirror comps. I'm excited for mirror comps because that means that it's who's the better Viper, who's the better Sova, who's the better Cypher. Who's the better Neon. I'm excited for Neon. All right, I've been playing a lot of Neon in my games. I'm low lobby, like I said last week, but nonetheless, it's gonna be some clean gameplay. We saw that a lot of our players last week. We got a couple new faces. Z-Killer and Wilhelm are both new to the team this semester. However, they were performing phenomenally last week, and all of our team got some good synergy going, and they are head clickers. And if you know anything about Valorant, it's all about clicking heads. At the end of the day, you got abilities, you got utility, but if you can't kill them with your gun, you lose. It looks like Indiana Tech is going to be running on the defense first here to start us off for the night. And it's going to be a good night, everybody. It looks like we are going to be just setting up some Cypher trips in Garage and on B site, and then just dividing the rest of our team up on the other 2 sites here. St. Mary's is going to be putting a little bit of presence everywhere here. They're going for a little bit of default, trying to gather information, trying to figure out how Indiana Tech is going to be playing this. Indiana Tech going for a quick rotate out from A. And they did have their Neon pushed up, so they were able to hear. Down goes Void Lord. Not a great start. I bet he's punching air right now, y'all, but that's A-okay. We're going to get into some more action here. Wilhelm also gets down. It looks like St. Mary's is going to be able to make it onto site here, and they get the plant off. They are going to have a lot of site control here with the Cypher and Viper. Neon pushing up a little bit. There's a Silver Dart. Spots. And down goes M2 Sky as well. Indiana Tech getting a little shown up here right now. But there we go. Ping at least got one. Z-Killer does go down. It is all down to Ping. Will he clutch up? It's Valorant, so you never know. However, this isn't looking too good. And down goes Ping as well. And I might have been all talk, chat. All right. Look, if you were here last week, this isn't the start that we had last week. However, it's a start. And Valorant, it can switch in a matter of seconds. Rounds, first round doesn't count. Second round, if you lose first round, basically doesn't count. Because it's all just classics. You got a bunch of classics, unless you force buy. And typically you don't force buy, but if you want to, you can. get a little bit silly here. M2 Sky, it looks like he's going to be going for that typical little recon arrow, shooting down A. St. Mary's putting some heavy pressure down the middle here, looking to go garage. Do have a little bit of presence in garage. However, last time Void Lord didn't serve up very well here. Down goes Wilhelm on C, allowing St. Mary's to be able to get that free plant off once again. And Indiana Tech is gonna have to try and play this as a team. Strength in numbers with the classics. That's how you gotta do it. Because if you're down guns, you gotta just shoot more bullets at them. Unfortunately here, Indiana Tech is gonna be at another disadvantage. And it looks like St. Mary's Viper is going to be wrapping around the backside right behind them, which they are completely unaware and not looking for her. And down goes Void Lord as well. Ping going to peek out, get taken out. Unfortunately, I believe he was holding a shorty there, but did not get a shot off either. Z-Killer securing a pick. And it looks like he might have been going back for the gun or just admitting that he was going to die to the bomb exploding there. Round 3, Indiana Tech can now buy. So hopefully we will see, you know, the tides turning a little bit here in favor of Indiana Tech. See if they're able to finally put a stop to St. Mary's. A little bit of a snowball push here. It's anybody's game, folks, but St. Mary's is starting off with a strong lead, and it looks like they are going to be going for a default. They're going to be leaving Spike and Spawn. Or not. Never mind. Omen's going to pick it up. Okay, I lied. They tricked me. It's not my fault. It's their fault. We're going to be having Neon push up A here, getting a sharp, aggressive angle. St. Mary's is not there, however. Wilhelm sitting in a corner with a Bucky. However, if it serves him well, he might be able to actually get a pick here. That Cypher is really close to walking into his crosshairs, but unfortunately it looks like they are going to be rotating out. Ping does get an early pick here, putting Indiana Tech at an advantage for the first time in the game. Z-Killer also securing a pick. St. Mary's taking it a little slow now. We are going to be having one on the flank. They're pushing out a long. Looks like they are. Oh, two of them are going to be going sewers here. Down goes Z-Killer. Indiana Tech now knowing that they're fully pushing A side here. M2 Sky make it one pick. Unfortunately, not the second there. Ping taking out the Cypher. All down to St. Mary's Sova. That was it.
30 seconds
maybe just
left.
a freaky little teleport. I'm not entirely sure. Ooh, Wilhelm getting taken out. No flanking for him. Let's see if Sova is able to clutch this up for his team. Going for a very, very fast rotate. Looks like he's going to be able to get onto site. Getting his location revealed. However, he should be able to get the plant off. Indiana Tech is going to have to play post plant here. They have strength in numbers and a little bit of utility, I think, left in the chamber here. We'll see. Like they are going to be pushing together. And there it is. Ping for 3. Securing Indiana Tech's first round of the night. And like I said, folks, it's anyone's game. You could be 2 rounds in and it doesn't matter. You know, we got a lot of game ahead of us. By the way, this is placement, so it's best of 1. However, we are guaranteed 2 matches. So nonetheless, we got a night in for us. Not a super long night like that last semester where we were here till 12 p.m. However, that was finals. So, and it looks like we also have a timeout active. So, you know, I don't know why we're using a timeout, but they got to talk strategy. They won a round, so they want to talk about what worked, and obviously the 2 rounds of what didn't work. And they kind of have to go from there. Like I said, though, I do like that we have a mirror comp going here, because that means it's just whoever's the better team, whoever's the better at the agents that they're playing. And obviously, you can see our team, you know, going through some discussions. I believe they have Coach Mike talking in their ear, if I'm not mistaken. That's why they all look like they're listening. They're getting an earful right now, telling them to suck it up and start shooting heads. No, I'm kidding. He's probably saying something a lot smarter than that. That's coming from a bronze player here. So we're getting into some action again here in just a few seconds. So we're getting back into the game. We have a nice little Omen ult. So I hope Ping just rips it at the start of the round. Maybe not the start of the round. That's a bit preemptive. But Indiana Tech going for, you know, just a typical little default defense here. Looks like St. Mary's is gonna, I don't know. They're clumped up. That's for sure. It looks like they are gonna be 5-stacking A site here. Scaling up. Down goes Z-Killer and Sewers. 4 of them push, or I'm sorry, excuse me, 3 of them pushing through Sewers here. And it looks like Empty Sky is gonna get 1. Will he get this over? This right around the corner. He will. Ping getting 2 as well. Empty Sky does go down to the Viper utility, unfortunately. But just like that, we went from 0 to 100 real quick with that action.
Toxin screen down.
From nearly everybody on the battlefield to 4 of St. Mary's being taken out. Viper looking to go B here, it looks like. Void Lord, very aware that she is here. Extremely aware. And it looks like she was doing it just to prank him. Unfortunately, she is going to be making contact with Indiana Tech's finest here. And there it is, Ping for 3 once again. Ping putting out a strong performance tonight on the Omen. Unfortunately, he didn't use the ult like I predicted. You got to just rip that thing, man. It's like just one of his abilities. You get it so quick, and then you know, you gotta make some use out of it. Anyways, Indiana Tech finally winning a second round as well, bringing it 2-2. Looks like that timeout was used not in vain. They were able to talk about some strategies and talk about what they need to do and what they need to, you know, do to be able to win the game. Rolling into round 5. Here we go. Looks like St. Mary's learned from last time that 5-stacking a site didn't work out too well for them. So they are going to be going back to what was working. And that was a little bit of default, a little bit of split pushing. A little bit of corner peeking. Wilhelm about to make some contact here. Oh my goodness. They are a sliver of crosshair away from each other. Wilhelm shooting shots. Does not know that Cypher's right there and does get headshot by the Sheriff from that Cypher. And it looks like St. Mary's is going to be doing what they have done that has worked. And that is maintaining C-Site. Out comes the solo here from M2 Sky, getting 1. Indiana Tech looking to get some scaling up here, getting onto C-Site. Oh, and there we go. Void Lord getting 2. Indiana Tech is now up, going for the defuse. You got to stick it here. Oh, he's not going to be sticking it because of that Sova ult that was absolutely ripped. But Sova is the last one, and it is going to be a free defuse for Z-Killer there. And unfortunately, he turned around to shoot a wall to die. But Ping finished off the Sova as well. Indiana Tech securing that round. Able to finally put a stop to St. Mary's C-Site antics. That was the first of 3 rounds that they went C-Site, and Indiana Tech finally was able to do something about it. So it looks like whatever they were talking about, they talked about right, and they're in a bit of a good spot now. They're up 1. We got a lot of match left to go. Buckle up, folks, because we're in it for the long haul. Z-Killer. We might be seeing a little bit of a cheeky little neon ult here. Pushing up into sewers. Doing a little jump peeking. I think Z-Killer's very aware that there's a lot there. Empty Sky does go down a main. Unfortunate to lose somebody so early in the round, but you can always turn the tides back around. Unfortunately, there's no harbor though, so you can't really turn the tides. Ooh, Z-Killer. Jump peek just to find that Viper there. And, oof, I mean, I know I get to see the map, but if I were Indiana Tech, I would send at least one more person over, and especially after somebody else dying, I would be fully rotating over. And Ping through the smoke getting 2, unfortunately goes down. but he at least is going to even it out a little bit for his team. Just down to Wilhelm and Voidlord here. Wilhelm with the operator going up into heaven. Oh, just a sliver away from these people. It hurts. And there it is, Wilhelm with the operator using his util and sewers, trying to get that Sova to peek out. He does, and unfortunately, that didn't work out too well for Indiana Tech. They pushed out, and then St. Mary's was able to get their kills, bringing it back to a tied ball game, 3-3. Like I said, we're in it for the long haul. It looks like we might be going to a 12-12. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this game goes. Quick reminder, chat, stay hydrated, drink some water. Because, you know, if you're talking like me, you definitely need water. Or if you're a human, you also need water. And if you're watching this, you're more than likely a human. Unless you're AI watching this, in which I don't know why you're here. Rolling into round 7. We got both Omen ults here. Wilhelm getting an early pick, a little bit of a Viper diff with a shorty. And he is going to continue playing within his smokes. It spots an Omen sitting on top of a box. M2 Sky does get a pick, and Voidlord is going to be trading Wilhelm's life. It was not in vain, and he does pick up his shorty. Also not in vain of Wilhelm's life. He will carry on the torch of that shorty. Voidlord going for some pop shots here. St. Mary was able to get a seaside plant once again. However, it was just down to 2 of them.
Standing.
And Ping with 2 kills to secure that round as well. That's textbook right there, everybody. That's textbook. You play numbers when you have numbers. A 4v2, you play with your team, you get your kills, you defuse the bomb. Standard textbook there. That is what we like to see. And oftentimes, that's just kind of what you have to do in Valorant. You just have to go back to the basics. You got to go to the textbook. If you play it how you need to play it, oftentimes you can secure a round. If you get a little fancy, you slip up a little bit, that's how you lose momentum. We are still holding on to a lot of ults here, so I'm very curious to see how these next few rounds play out. Because one good ultimate could change, could change a round in an instant. And Ping with an early wallbang on the enemy Viper. And a second, Ping absolutely being a straight menace in this match. Voidlord gets spotted in garage. Or as I like to say, garage. I only say that when I'm playing Valorant at 12 p.m. at night. 12 a.m. at night? How do you want to say that? It's 12 a.m. technically. Ping for 3. That's 4. Do we see an ace? Turn around, Ping. Ah, no, Ping. What are you doing? You're supposed to get the ace. I'm sure he's very upset that he didn't get the ace. However, very strong performance there by Ping. Apologies if that scream was loud. But honestly, I think it was the most professional scream that you've ever heard. So suck it up, Buttercups. It's 5-3. Indiana Tech is putting up a stronger performance. 17-4 for Ping. Dominating the entire lobby, taking names, and kicking butt. Absolutely insane performances by Ping. Almost. And we'll say almost because he almost got the ace, but he unfortunately did not get the ace. He did not secure the bag. Rolling into round 9. What do we have? It looks like St. Mary's is once again going back to what they know, and that's C-Site. And with that recon dart getting shot on the C-Site, I would also rotate if I were Indiana Tech. But unfortunately, I think St. Mary's knows that. So they're going to be also rotating directly through their 2 of them through their spawn. I guess they're a little scared. They're a little scared of the Omen ult. Little do they know, he's nowhere close to their spawn. Well, now they know because they went through their spawn. But you get what I mean, guys. You get what I mean. Looks like everyone's going to be slowing down a little bit. And when it's still 5-5 players, you kind of do. You just slow down a little bit. Although, eventually, St. Mary's is going to have to be doing something here. And it looks like they are going to be favoring their C site once again. A jump from Wilhelm spotting some C. Looks like M2 Sky is going to be rotating out from A. Wilhelm getting spotted by the recon dart. And here comes the Viper ult from St. Mary's. And down goes Wilhelm. Voidlord getting a pick onto Sova. Here comes the Sova ult. Voidlord does go down. M2 Sky gets a pick with his ultimate. 3-3 here. M2 Sky does go down. And unfortunately, St. Mary's does have the Viper domain expansion here. Ping gets a pick, though. Standing on top of the boxes, able to look over everything. Oh, unfortunately, Ping was not looking the right way when he dropped down into that smoke. Z-Killer going for some spraying and praying that he gets somebody. Unfortunately, he does not. Spots the Omen, does get the Omen. Taps Spike. Does he get the Viper? Oh, he does, but not in time. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to get the kills and unfortunately not be able to defuse the bomb. A very close round there. Well fought by Indiana Tech, I would say. Unfortunate that Ping dropped and we just wasn't looking the right direction. That's not even necessarily on him. It was good that he checked that way. In that corner box there too, because with anyone's luck in Valorant, somebody would be cornering in that box, crouching and just waiting for somebody to drop. Especially after hearing the Omen TP. Indiana Tech still holding a little bit of a lead here, 5-4 here, rolling into round 10. We got an op, taking down C Long. Unfortunately here, looks like nobody's gonna be starting off going there. Z-Killer getting an early pick down A. Looks like St. Mary's is gonna be maybe favoring a B site here. King shooting some warning shots. Maybe scaring them away. I'm not exactly sure. They're playing this a little slow. Trying to find some footing here. Maybe secure a pick. Ping's crosshair a little higher just because he was, you aim for the head. You always, keep your crosshair level-headed. But there was a ramp there. There were some stairs. Luckily, he did not die there. We still have our op on C, and Wilhelm does spot the Omen. So he's just, he's not going to continue to hold the angle. But now he is. He had to check C long again. Unfortunately, now they are not going to be pushing through garage. They are going to go B site. Guys, are you just as confused as I am? Because St. Mary's is playing with my brain. They're like sticking a fork in it, and they're just like pushing things around. I don't know what's happening. They are going to get Spike planted on B site. However, Ping will not let them do it without taking a body with him. Well, not with him. He didn't die. Wilhelm jumping out of the smoke with a shorty. M2 Sky also getting a pick, tapping the Spike here. Unfortunately, Z-Killer rounds the corner and gets taken out, as well as Ping. But Wilhelm with the operator securing the final pick. We get the defuse, bringing us to a 6-4 lead here going into round 11. Ping still leading the entire lobby by almost 10 kills. Or if you'd rather just do your math right, 9 kills. But, I like rounding up. He's about to get his 20 bomb and absolutely leading his entire team to victory here. The next best is M2 Sky with 7 kills. And then you have Sova and Cypher on St. Mary's with 10 kills apiece. At the top of their leaderboard here. D-Killer once again pushing out sewers. Looking to try and get that Cypher pushing out from the smoke. Unfortunately, did not get it. M2 Sky, though, he is going to be giving some answers. And that is 3 kills. On to A site. 4! Where's the ace? Oh, no ace. It looks like Indiana Tech is cursed from getting aces, guys. So I'll say it. We're not getting any aces tonight. That was a knock on wood moment, guys. That's supposed to be like, the whole thing where... No? Just me? Okay. Well, hopefully we do get an ace tonight. We were, 2 players close to it. We are going to be getting a little bit of a replay here. M2 Sky, like, look at this. Boom. And that Neon was, was ulting him too. And he just said, no thank you. He said no thank you. I would rather not get a lightning bolt to the face. And then Wilhelm, of course, securing that final pick for the round. A strong performance there by M2 Sky. He was a CS player. I don't know if he still plays CS, but he used to be a pretty high-level CS player back in the day, back in his younger age days. So Valorant is, you know, a familiar feeling game, and he's good at clicking heads. He plays Overwatch too, and clicks heads in Overwatch. So he's a head clicker. Rolling into round 12. This is going to be the last round of the half. The Void Lord just sitting on his little camera, waiting for them to push through garage. He knows they're there. Oh, and Omen left him an opening in that smoke. Unfortunately, he will not get the pick here. Z-Killer does get a little bit of a neon diff, though. I was on A site, and it looks like St. Mary's is going to be going for C site. M2 Sky getting 2 here. They were ready for it. Ping going down. It is all down to St. Mary's site for Void Lord taking out the Sova, and unfortunately walking into the crosshairs of the Cypher there. And Wilhelm with the operator, securing the final pick for that half. 8-4, Indiana Tech finally, you know, getting some real good footing in here, getting a really good lead. And we're rolling into the second half of this match. Look at those happy faces. Look, M2 Sky's even smiling. Chat, clip it, because you don't see that every day. M2 Sky smiling, very rare. Very, very rare. Everyone except for Void Lord, I think, is smiling, actually. Typical Void Lord. Look at him, always on the phone. Somebody in chat, send him a message. Say, get off your phone, because he does that a lot. If you remember, if you were here last week and remember, Void Lord was caught in 1080p that he was on his phone and got caught off guard. That was pretty funny. He made excuses, but there was no excuse for that. Indiana Tech on the offense now. Like I said, though, mirror comp, so, you know, it's whoever's just better on the agents you're playing and who can click heads better. Up going to smoke. Void Lord finding some contact with the Viper. Does go down to the Viper, but gets traded at least. And down goes Z-Killer, but also getting traded. It's a trade fest here on C site. Indiana Tech taking a card out of the book of St. Mary and planning on C site. Wilhelm playing garage here.
Revealing area.
Out comes this overdart from St. Mary's, finding M2 Sky. M2 Sky looking to fight this. Wilhelm taking out the Neon. And M2 Sky for 3. Looks like Omen is not going down without a fight. That's 2 for Omen. 3! You know what? He deserves it. He clicked heads. He secured the round. Indiana Tech, unfortunately, basically just took 3 1v1s against that Omen. Unfortunately, the last kill was shots through a box. However, that just means you can get shot through that box. Very unfortunate for Indiana Tech, but a very good play from St. Mary's Omen there. A little bit of a replay here. We can see what we did wrong. M2 Sky securing, like, you hate to be up 2, and then to have an Omen, or any player for that matter, get 3 picks at the end, securing the round for them. It'll be 8-5 rolling in here. Indiana Tech looking towards A site here. The Viper wall is going to be going up A as well, so I think that means St. Mary's knows, but Neon is also leaving A site, leaving their Sova to do it all by themselves. And they're not ready for M2 Sky to round the corner, and there it is with the Frenzy, the opening pick that they needed. The Kuranami Spectre. Love the Kuranami skin. So good. I don't have any weapons with it. However, I can only hope. A little bit of a Cypher diff there, Void Lord. I'm calling you out. Absolutely. Should have won that. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. But I mean no disrespect. 4 players to 4 players. Indiana Tech had already taken a little bit of damage here. Z-Killer trying to play a little cheeky angle there. And we're getting a lot of kills back and forth. Indiana Tech is going to be coming out on top there. Ping and M2 Sky securing the kills for that round. 3 for M2 Sky, 2 for Ping, bringing us to a 9-5 lead. That is 21-8 for Ping, 19-9 for M2 Sky. Has started to make a little bit of a comeback on that leaderboard. And then the 2 leading the top for St. Mary's is going to be the Cypher and the Omen. Cypher with 16 and 12, and then Omen still with 10 and 11 deaths. A good all-around match so far, if you ask me. 9-5. That's, you know, can still go any direction. However, Indiana Tech holding their lead pretty strong here. Z-Killer just absolutely running it down, but that's just what you do on Neon. You run it down, you play your corners. He clears the entire site. I mean, nobody was there, but he cleared the entire site, which means something. Because somebody could have been ratting in a corner. You never know. We'd love to see Neon with a buckier judge. And M2 Sky heard the flank. However, he did not expect 3 people to be on the flank. So there are going to be 3 of St. Mary's going sewers. Indiana Tech is going to try and maybe isolate the other fights. Unfortunately, not getting it. Wilhelm does go down. Void Lord and Z-Killer getting a pick, though. Z-Killer getting 2. Z-Killer goes down to the other Neon. Ping securing the pick on the Viper. And there we go. Ping for 2. Finishing off the Neon that was Heaven. Bringing Indiana Tech to a 5... I mean, Indiana Tech is leading 10-5. They don't have 5, though. If you picking up what I'm putting down. And we are going to be seeing a timeout here coming out from St. Mary's. They didn't use their timeout last half, but they are sure as heck going to use it now. With Indiana Tech having such a lead, it's only smart. It's only smart. And there's Z-Killer. As I said last week, he's taking a little power nap. He's not actually. He's just relaxing. From what he said to me, from what he said to us after last week's stream, he apparently isn't taking a power nap, which, you know, I would be thoroughly impressed if he could fall asleep that quickly. But he was just smiling there, so unless he laughs in his sleep, I don't think he was sleeping. Otherwise, he's a very talented sleeper, and I need to take some notes from him to be able to fall asleep that quickly and be able to laugh in my sleep. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys, but we're in a timeout, and I'm stalling. That's what it is. I'm stalling because I don't know what else to talk about. Indiana Tech, we just have a strong lead. And when the other team has a strong lead, you got to use your timeout. Especially this late in the game, after second half, if you still have a timeout, use your timeout. Talk about what you need to fix and what you need to do differently to hopefully stop the other team from, you know, just keep on snowballing over you. We are going to be having Indiana Tech here with an Omen and a Sova ult. St. Mary's not having any ultimates here. They don't make or break, you know, they can make or break the rounds, but they don't make and break the rounds, if you know what I mean. It can go either way, because if you die with your ult, you know, nothing happens. M2 Sky, was he waiting for the line? Was that how his lineup works? You have to wait 5 seconds. I don't know. I'm very curious. Or he was distracted. The world may never know. St. Mary's is going to be covering all their bases here. And I mean literally covering all their bases, all the sites. They are looking for as much intel as possible. Indiana Tech is going to be going for a garage push here. Out goes Sova drone, not spotting anything. There's a recon arrow coming out from St. Mary's, not spotting any of Indiana Tech's players within garage. But I believe that St. Mary's is, you know, aware of Indiana Tech's antics here. But of course, they are not going to be having anybody rotate too early. We are going to be putting some smokes onto A, trying to trick the Cypher a little bit here. There goes the recon dart onto C side. We are going to be pushing out. Void Lord does get a pick, but Z-Killer goes down in the process. M2 Sky, knowing the Viper's there, goes for the shock darts, does not get it, but gets traded. Wilhelm goes down. Void Lord gets another. It's a 2v2. Ping! Getting another. Ping going for the plant here because he's running out of time. Indiana Tech is up, and they just needed to play numbers, and they did. That's what you like to see. Void Lord for 3 there, bringing himself to 3rd on the Indiana Tech leaderboard. Ping still holding a strong lead for Indiana Tech, 24-8 there, as you see. It's 11-5, chat. So Indiana Tech is sitting pretty, but hopefully not sitting too pretty. Hopefully they're not getting too cocky here. rolling into round 17. Looks like Indiana Tech is going to be pushing A side quite hard, quite fast.
There.
St. Mary's is going to be aware of this, and they are going to be trying to slow Indiana Tech down a little bit. D-Killer, of course, checking all those corners as he needs to. Is he pushing through? Okay, I was a little worried there if he was going to push through that smoke. Chose not to, which I'm a fan of him not doing. Does spot the Viper Heaven. Viper takes a little bit of damage, does not go down though. D-Killer getting spotted in the corner. Uses util to try and disrupt the enemy team. Gets one and just unfortunately ran out of bullets. It's a 3v3 situation here. Indiana Tech did get the plant off in the process. Omen just, all right, Omen. Look, dude, sometimes it works, but that's usually only in lower lobbies. Just TPing out into the open typically doesn't work in higher lobbies, especially when the enemy has already planted and has the site for themselves. Yeah, can we please get a replay on that? I would really like to rewatch that. Look, no words. Let's just look back on this. He had an idea. You know what? Maybe it's the Neon's fault. We'll blame the Neon. The Neon was supposed to put her wall out further for him to TP into. That was the issue. Definitely the Neon's fault. We're not gonna blame the Omen. Am I right, chat? Come on, it's definitely. Anyways, it's match point here, y'all, for this first placement match of the night. Interesting that they're trying to pull out, I guess, all the stops there with that Omen play, and they are going to be just ripping Viper ult here, denying Indiana Tech C, or at least C from C long. They technically could still go garage, but I don't think Viper would just let them do that either. But if you have ults in the last round here, you're gonna be wanting to use them, especially if you're Indiana Tech. Well, it's last round for Indiana Tech if they win this round. And when I say if, I mean when. Also, that guy's crosshair was right on Void Lord. It just was through a wall. He could have died. He could have died, you guys. Not at all. You can't shoot that wall, but. A lot of slow play here, but as I'm saying that, ping does go down. Empty Sky does get a pick, trading off ping's life. And if you're gonna lose players, that's how you lose them. You trade them out. Unfortunately, Empty Sky did not get traded out and is just going to go down. Indiana Tech is running out of time. They kind of just let this round go, which they use St. Mary's used Viper ult, so I guess it's all right. That was an ultimate use. Gonna see if they can get some exit frags here. Void Lord will get an exit frag. So I guess it was worth it. If you have a strong lead, exploit their ultimates, and now you have all 5 ultimates, so you have a lot of utility at your disposal. Okay, Void Lord, stop flexing your knife. All right, I want it. I want the singularity butterfly knife. I don't have it. Okay, it's fine. Chat, I'm not getting upset. All right, I'm not. I promise.
I'm out of here.
Okay, a little bit. Yeah, my producer's nodding. I am getting a little upset.
I'll show them.
Anyways, it is 12-6 here. St. Mary's was able to secure a round after a little while of being able to secure a round. Indiana Tech is going to be pushing C hard here. Z-Killer using his ultimate to get one pick, but going down after that. Empty Sky ripping his ultimate, getting one with that as well. Location revealed. Wilhelm does want to move from the box that he could get shot through, and here comes the Viper ult as well. Indiana Tech planting. They're pulling out all the stops here. That was the last ultimate. Omen, we got a nice little cheeky TP behind with his team. And down goes the enemy Neon. It's 4-2. However, we've seen this Omen do some shenanigans in the past. Well, okay, we've seen the polar opposite sides of this Omen. We've seen him do a great 3K clutch, and then we saw him TP out onto site. So who's to say? Maybe he'll clutch up here. We're about to find out, and unfortunately he does not. But fortunately for Indiana Tech, that means 13-6 win for Indiana Tech, securing their first placement of the night. Look at how happy they are. Man, I love when they just show how happy they are. They can't hear me, but I'm trying to force my voice into their heads. It's not working. Ping and M2 Sky leading the entire leaderboard there. 26-9 for Ping, at 23-12 for M2 Sky, just behind in the leaderboard there. Strong performance there for Indiana Tech. Well, chat, I believe we will be having a second placement match, and by I believe, I mean we are. So buckle up. We got another match in store for y'all, but we're going to be going to a short break, so stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Again, why do you waste your life? voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. brain. Don't say we can't, oh, just don't say another word. These thoughts you've imagined aren't real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, all from another world. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. Cause we both know one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, it's my say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. We both know that one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, my say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. Dear bright brain, you're so far off, oh, it's like you can't see ahead. These feelings you've caught don't make sense, your plan's gonna flop. You keep raising doubts without cause, all you feel is dread. My logic is fair, if it's pain, it's ever gonna stop. Cause we both know that one day he's not gonna cry again. Without doubt, it's my say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. The sun's gonna rise one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, it's our say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't the end.
when you need it most. Feel the freedom of being careless, just being in love. Everything will be alright. Through the darkness, through the night, no fear anymore. No fear anymore.
Wanna be delivered to the I wanna be delivered to the heart.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero.
Hello, everybody, and welcome right back. And by right back, I mean, you know, it was a good like 30-minute wait for y'all and me and us here at the production of NECC. However, we are back with match number 2, numero dos. Looks like we're gonna be playing the same comp unless they don't play the agents that they are hovering, and we are back on Haven. So it looks like we're just gonna play it how we did last time. We are going up against Augusta. Say that 10 times fast. If you want to, you don't have to. It looks like they are gonna be picking a Cypher and Omen are already locked in. They're hovering a Yoru, an ISO, and a Sova. The Yoru and ISO would be something that we didn't see in the last match. Also, double duelist. The other team did not play. Well, did they? What did they have? No, they didn't play double duelist because they played the same comp as us. they played double controller. But it worked out a few rounds for St. Mary University, having double controller and playing C-Site a lot of times. And with Cypher as your sentinel, you can really hold down a site. So I mean, and you have 3 sites on Haven. So if you're gonna hold down sites, you might as well do it on Haven. We are gonna be, like I said, Indiana Tech is gonna be rolling in to this match playing the same comp, which you know, if you won your last round, then your last game with that same comp, same map, you might as well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's what I like to say. So that you guys know in the chat, there are many of you apparently consistently, which is very cool. Welcome everybody. If you do not know, my name is Mido, or Matt, however you'd like to refer to me. I am a recent tech graduate, and I'm here. I'm here to bring you guys some fun, some good times, good castings. And yeah, we're gonna be getting right into this next match. And so you guys know, if we win this will be the last match for the night. If we lose this, I believe we will be playing one more after this. So, buckle up, buttercups. We are getting straight into the action. Indiana Tech is going to be going on attack first here. Switching it up a little bit. We are on defense first in our last match. And Wilhelm starting us off strong with an early pick there, and Void Lord also picking up a pick. And it looks like we're going to be going fast on C-Site. Looks like AU's Vast is going to be in this cubby over here. He is going to be getting a pick. 2 of Indiana Techs go down in the process. Ooh, a good shock dart there, and a good collapse from Z-Killer and Empty Sky. Indiana Tech is now up a lot of numbers. You just gotta play your numbers. If you have numbers, play numbers. If you don't, make the numbers in your favor. But we have numbers, we have plant. And he spotted. Make that double spotted. I think Indiana Tech should have this round secured, but not quite yet. Soa's not going down without a fight. He's gonna have to make it onto site and defuse. And we've got Z-Killer here with a frenzy. And Sova was ready, but not ready enough to the trigger. Nice first round there for Indiana Tech, starting off pretty strong, I would say. Able to get onto C-Site there pretty quickly.
I'm out of here.
And now with some early economy, they are able to get some guns early in the game, and hopefully just keep the ball rolling here. A strong start as opposed to last match was not as strong of a start for Indiana Tech, but the middle section was definitely a lot better. And then we just kind of rolled the rest of the game out. I believe they only secured one other round in the second half. Yeah, this goes for us. Wow, what a spray and pray by Empty Sky. Getting that Yoru down to 1 HP, and then he, pops out of the smoke and just gets taken out. Ping and Void Lord getting taken out, but the enemy Cypher also being taken out. And Sova diff there. Empty Sky goes down. An interesting place for these fights to be happening. Playing a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie. It looks like Augusta University really likes to play aggressive. They're in our spawn right now. I don't know. This was a very interesting fight that went down. It's definitely going to be a lot different of a play style compared to St. Mary University. St. Mary University definitely played a lot slower. Augusta, they're playing very much more aggressive. Z-Killer getting in there with the judge, and he is about to make some judgments. Oh, and unfortunately did not quite have his crosshair where it needed to be. He was not ready for that peek. Wilhelm, though, getting one, and unfortunately, that is all she wrote. That is very unfortunate if we look at the health bars of the other 2 players. That was clutchable for Wilhelm. Unfortunately, he ran out of some bullets there, bringing it to a tied up 1-1 early on here. Looks like we are going to be in it for the long haul. Another good match in store for us here. We got Yepity from AU leading off their pack 4-2, and we got Void Lord leading off our pack at 3-2. Also, if it was no surprise to any of us, and it wasn't, Ping was the MVP of the last match. Top of the leaderboard, had a very strong performance. So we'll see if he he gets back in his groove here and finds some picks. Z-Killer going fast garage here. Looks like Yoru is going to be not taking this fight. But inevitably, if he stays there when the smoke goes down, he will be. He looks like he is going to be TPing out of there. At least calming the information of people being in the garage. Not really doing much else with it. It looks like everyone's gonna be slowing down a little bit here. I think I just entered the flow state. And it looks like we are gonna be getting right into the action. AU's Talon getting 2. And 3.
Spike down B.
Void Lord. Ah, he got 1. But unfortunately went down. AU starting off, getting a nice strong round there. Having a very secure defense. I definitely can see why they are playing double duelist. If you're playing more of an aggressive playstyle, you definitely want to be able to take space. And if you have 2 duelists, you can take a lot of space. ISO is definitely really good at taking space, and Yoru, good for scouting, good for gathering information. Yeah, definitely. I like the duelist combination there. So with our out A long, it looks like Indiana Tech is going to be trying to 5-stack L, but AU's Winter getting 2 down A main. Ping able to take him out, but not before 2 of his teammates going down. Z-Killer getting taken out by AU Talon. AU is a team to be reckoned with. They are going to be having a Cypher on the flank as well, as we see here. He's going to be taking that nice and slow. Just waiting in the corner, seeing if Indiana Tech is going to try and rotate out. I think Indiana Tech does want to try and commit the A site. And Ping, unfortunately, getting picked out there, and it looks like the Cypher off of that pick is going to be pushing up behind. Will he find Void Lord?
30 seconds left.
They really don't know where Void Lord is, and I think Void Lord at this point is just trying to wait and see if they will leave sight. But I don't think they're gonna leave sight until you know, he plants, and he can't plant. So I think at this point he's just gonna save. Oh, but there's a dart, unlucky dart, but he gets the omen. Will he live is the question. 3 seconds left on the clock. He's gotta survive the waves of blood coming his way. They're gonna be pushing in. He gets the Yoru. Oh, he gets a 3K. Those are good exit frags. The round was lost, however, he got the exit frags, which helps Indiana Tech balance out the economy a little bit. A 3-1 lead for Augusta University. They, like I said earlier, are forced to be reckoned with. They are not playing around. Indiana Tech definitely needs to lock in if they want to try and they want to try and win this. However, if it's anything like the last match, it was a little bit of a rough start for Indiana Tech, and then they found their footing. They were able to make way off of that. Looks like Indiana Tech is going to be putting a lot of presence in garage here, making some contact. And unfortunately, M2 Sky getting caught off guard by the Omen sitting in the smoke. Void Lord does trade him out. Here's an ISO ult, taking Z-Killer, and unfortunately, it took the life of Z-Killer as well. Oh, and Wilhelm unfortunately missing some shots. Void Lord taking out AE's Vast. Ping getting taken out. It is picks left and right here. Bike down. Void Lord trying to make something happen here. Being a little sneaky on B site. Oh! 4K for Void Lord. It is down to a 1v1. He is going to be using that ult. finding out where ISO is,
Leave the spike.
and he's going to be running for the hills to A site. Get that plant off, and then try his best to win this 1v1 against the ISO. He does spot him in garage.
Planted the spike.
Looks like he might be trying to go heaven here, and he is. It will be putting him in a good spot. ISO's wrapping around right now as we speak. And it looks like he is going to be going straight to site. Voidlord has a little bit of time here, but eventually he's going to hear that. And it looks like ISO's just going for the defuse. Peek out! Thank you, Voidlord. And what an ace. Absolutely carrying that round. Voidlord trying. This was an incredible flick on these two, kills that he had initially here. Being a little sneaky on B site. Lovely replay system coming into action, bringing him to a 4K, and then finishing out the round, taking out the ISO. He did cut it a little close on the spike there. But you don't always expect people to hold the defuse. But now they know that the ISO does like to. So hopefully that'll give them some form of information. And down goes ISO, getting his orb. I think he did get the orb, but he died for it. You know, he got it, but at what cost? His life.
Time to jump.
AU's chamber is, not chamber, Cypher. Wrong Sentinel. Both with C names, but, you know, close enough. Cypher still set up on A site. We got our Viper pushing out there. Ping. It looks like Ping and this Yoru are having a little bit of a tug of war here. A little bit of cat and mouse. Wilhelm on A site. Does not... I don't think he knows the Cypher's there. Now he does. Down goes Voidlord and Ping to Yoru. Yoru gets 3 on the other side of the map. Wilhelm securing the pick on the Cypher on A site. That means Indiana Tech needs to get over there with a spike. M2 Sky, you better be running for the hills. Very tight angle here being held for Wilhelm.
30 seconds left.
And M2 Sky is going to get spotted. The Sova ult going down on top. Wilhelm getting blinded there. Yoru using his ult to scout out. M2 Sky securing the pick on Omen. Yoru, he's going to be behind them on the flank. That's another pick for Wilhelm.
Spike planted.
And Attack getting the plant off in the nick of time. Looks like they are going to be going for the Viper ult. He has 1 HP! Please don't let him ace. Oh my goodness, Wilhelm. Nice 3. That Yoru put up a heck of a fight there. Getting me sweating a little bit. As if I wasn't already sweating, even though I got a nice little fan on me. But cutting it close there, and it looks like Augusta University is going to be calling their first time out of this match. It is 3-3. I'm going to use this as a moment, just like Z Killer, to take a little water break. Just a quick reminder for you, chat, to also stay hydrated. As the children like to say, hydrate or dehydrate. And, well, that's what will happen if you don't hydrate. So you should hydrate. I strongly encourage it. This is a very interesting map. We've had a lot of good plays. That Yoru almost aced in that last round. However, Wilhelm was not going to allow that to happen. Getting a nice little cheeky 3K to secure the round for his team. Yeah, so it's 3-3. It's anyone's game. Both teams putting up a very strong performance. The timeout is over. That'll be Augusta's timeout for this half. They do not get another. There's 1 timeout per half, I believe, if I'm not mistaken by the rules here. And it looks like we're going to be rolling in to this next round, bringing you some more action, some more firefights, and hopefully some crazy plays by Indiana Tech. Killer trying to get aggressive on the Sova. Ping getting an opening pick on Vast. That's a good pick to have early in the round, taking out the enemy Cypher. That means no trips,
Poison's off.
no smokes for him. Z-Killer meeting AU's Winter. Unfortunately, getting taken out in the process, leaving him on just a mere 8 HP. Wilhelm taking out Winter. A nice little flank there from Empty Sky. Well, I guess the Sova just wasn't looking. We are going to get a plant off on A. Void Lord getting another pick. And it is all down to this Yoru. He is a bit of a performer here, so we'll see if he performs. I like it. It was smooth. He got a pick, but he wasn't able to pull off the 4K that he needed to secure the round. NECC bringing themselves to the lead here, 4-3. You know, it's a lead, but it's a matter of what they do with the lead, right? And lucky for them too, if they keep the snowball rolling, then you know what that means. AU doesn't have another timeout for this round, so they can roll through a lot of rounds here. But we'll see what NECC decides to cook up here. Looks like they are going to be going for a split push, maybe leaving the spike behind. Okay, a default. Got some spraying through the smoke. Not finding any contact. Looks like NECC is going to be favoring A site once again. It's been working for them. Will they be able to make it work once again? Two going main, two going sewers.
Take flight.
Our Cypher playing on the lurk. It looks like he might make contact with a Yoru in garage. NECC going for an execution here. A lot of scaling going out. Ping getting a pick. Z-Killer going down. Empty Sky also going down. That's Yepity for 2. NECC is going to be getting the plant off on A site. Void Lord with a great lurk here on B site. Getting 1. Looking to try and get another if possible. But he doesn't. He doesn't get it. AU entering on the site, spotting Wilhelm with the Sova drone. Oh, Ping gets spotted, gets taken out. Wilhelm does get a pick, and Yepity getting a nice little cheeky 4K. Once again, tying up this game to 4-4. It is anyone's match, folks. I mean, both teams are putting out quite the performance. Leaderboards are pretty even all the way around. Void Lord leading off NECC 14-5, and Yepity leading off their team 9-6. G-Man falling close behind, 8-8 there. Wilhelm 7-7. Anybody's match. Like I said, pretty well-rounded leaderboard there. So we'll see how the rest of the match goes here. Rolling into round 9. AU's Winter taking out Z-Killer. It really is that opening pick that kind of can make or break the round at times. It sets things in motion for AU at least, giving them already an upper hand. Looks like they're going to continue to default and figure out what NECC is going to be planning on doing. It looks like NECC is going to be using util out on C, trying to execute. They do spot the Yoru, but they do not spot Vast over there in the corner. It looks like they're going to say no thank you, and probably going to rotate out. They were spotted by the Omen ult. Empty Sky is going to be throwing out a recon bolt, trying to spot people. And Void Lord getting a pick on A site. Or I'm sorry, that was on B. Wilhelm does go down on A site though. It looks like NECC
30 seconds left.
I think they're going to be going for an end on C site here. But unfortunately... Oh, and that's a Omen ult down. They got a whole Cypher setup here, and M2 Sky does go down. Ping with some cheeky little Omen placement here. He goes for a fake plant. Getting one! Unfortunately, not getting the other there. Around that corner. Well-fought NT there for Indiana Tech. 5-4 lead for Augusta University. They also have an econ surplus. Well, maybe not surplus, but they have the upper hand with the economy a little bit. They are able to have guns, and they have a lot of ultimates at their disposal as well. Here we go, round 10. Like Winter is going to be waiting long. Nobody. We are going to be seeing some contact here in Garage in just a split second. Oh, I think that Z-Killer was saved by the door there. Ping. Unfortunately, not saved by anything. Gets taken out. Z-Killer going for the plant. Indiana Tech is going to be able to execute onto B-side. They are getting a trade here. Void Lord for the Omen. Winter brings Z-Killer into the domain and does get the pick. G-Man outside of the domain does get 2 with the Outlaw. And that's going to win it for AU. Bringing them to a 6-4 lead.
Revealing area.
AU putting up a very strong performance, a very big fight here. Indiana Tech, they got to make something happen. We also have a timeout. Only a few more rounds left in this half. If I were Indiana Tech, if I lose this next round, I would use that timeout. You gotta use the timeout. You gotta at least try and stop the momentum of the other team, and then you also get time to talk about what to do, what to change up, and you know, how to execute a little bit better. I think we might be seeing a nice little lineup here from M2 Sky. Is he a knower? Looks like a knower. And he is. Location revealed. The enemy Sova. Oh, what a flick by G-Man. Taking out Z-Killer. Unfortunate start for Indiana Tech once again. And down goes Wilhelm as well. AU's Winter and G-Man absolutely popping off on this duelist roll.
Shadows traveling.
Everything goes quiet. Talon looking to try and play up in his smoke, but he heard some footsteps, I believe, so he's getting out of there. M2 Sky just holding this angle. Looking for the Omen. Getting a little bit of chip damage in. Getting a little bit of a shock dart, trying to find the Omen with the recon bolt as well. Not finding anything.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left in the round. Indiana Tech is going to have to make something happen here, and it looks like they're going to be forced to make it B site. They're slowly running out of time. 15 seconds here. They're either going to have to save or go for the plant, and it might be a save. I'm not entirely sure.
Out of charges.
Looks like they are just going to be saving here now. They don't have any time left. They were able to get the Yoru to use his ult, so there was something there. But Indiana Tech did lose 2 players. So not a great trade-off. And they lost another round. It's the last round before swap. Indiana Tech didn't use their timeout. I guess I said that last round, at the beginning of the last round, that they should use their timeout on the next one. However, this is the last round before swap, so a timeout wouldn't do too much because you're already gonna kind of have a little bit of time in between. Though, you still have the timeout at your disposal, so might as well use it. But who is to tell? Indiana Tech is going to be pushing out on to C-side here. Z-Killer with his ultimate. What a shot from G-Man. Flicking and taking him out. Wilhelm goes down, but Voidlord and M2 Sky get 2 picks as well, evening it the battlefield back out. AU's Winter trying to see if he can make it past the trip, I think, there, but now he's just looking to try and catch people out of the rotate. Voidlord, I think, is slightly aware of the antics. And it looks like he is able to take out AU's Winter. Indiana Tech getting a little bit of an upper hand here. There's the tap on the spike. And ping with some great Omen placement. And here's the ult coming out here from M2 Sky. Voidlord getting taken out. And it doesn't matter. M2 Sky got the exit frag, but it didn't matter. The bomb was already exploding. Indiana Tech making a little bit of a comeback there. Finally taking another round after a little bit of losing. I think they're sick and tired of losing, if I'm being quite honest with you. 5 to 7. Indiana Tech is down 2 rounds here after the first half. Down but not out. Ping just punching the camera there, it looked like almost. Not quite. I think he was just stretching, but his hand was just right up into the camera. Indiana Tech definitely needs to be locking in here if they want to get the lead. Got to make some things happen here. And they're on defense. Let's see if they're able to make anything of the Sentinel double smokes. And it looks like AU is going to be going for a 5 stack onto A side. Z-Killer getting up into the action, getting 1. M2 Sky getting 2. 3 of Indiana Tech getting taken out as well. Just like that in a matter of seconds. Even playing fields. They don't know that nobody else is there. They got to check their corners, but they are going to get the plants off. Indiana Tech, were they both going to go for flank? It looked like it, and now they're choosing not to. Looks like they are going to be coming from CT. Both of AU going up sewers, expecting them to be flank. They also do have the Cypher Cam. Smoke up on the Cypher Cam, which leads them to believe that they are now inside. And they would be right. Wilhelm going for the defuse. Getting it halfway, able to live. And Voidlord running into the fire. Unfortunately getting taken out, and Indiana Tech running out of time. Wilhelm was able to secure the pick, but unfortunately did not get the round. Running out of time there. AU leading off 8 to 5. Still a very strong lead for AU. If they keep on putting up the performance that they have been, they will surely be in a even better spot than they are now. I was gonna say they're gonna win, but I believe in Indiana Tech. I believe in our team, and I believe they can turn this around. They just need to find their footing. They gotta get, they gotta stand their ground on these sites. If they need to play post plant, then play post plant. Unfortunately, post plant didn't work for them on the last round. So maybe then they need to switch it up and not wait for post plant. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Hopefully they will find something that sticks here. 13 rounds in. We're gonna figure out. AU's vast. Getting an opening pick on Z-Killer, very unfortunate. Indiana Tech getting a couple of rotates over to A site as they lost a teammate over there, so I think reinforcements. This is a save round for Indiana Tech, it looks like, so they're not expecting to win this. However, people have been known to win save rounds at times. That blind just barely missing Ping, but he is spotted and unfortunately gets taken out. Wilhelm also got taken out in that short amount of time. Just down to 2 of Indiana Tech's. M2 Sky taking his time on those shots. That's getting a 3K. I mean, at least M2 Sky was able to get 1, but, Unfortunately, Indiana Tech was forced to save there, which was a misleading sentence because they didn't force by save. Leaderboard, we have G-Man leading off his pack, 15 and 11. Winter following closely, 12 and 8. And then we have Voidlord, 17 and 10 on our team. The next up there is M2 Sky with 9 and 10. Voidlord putting out a strong performance, but unfortunately, it hasn't been enough so far. Hopefully, they can turn the tables around here against AU and make something happen. Like I said, they got timeouts at their disposal. Sometimes you just gotta rip them. Sometimes you just gotta use those timeouts even if you don't want to use them. Wilhelm, there we go. Indiana Tech for the first time in a long time getting the opening pick there. That was Wilhelm. King. Oh, got pulled into the domain with a judge. Not the best thing to get pulled into. Indiana Tech is able to... Wilhelm! He got one while the domain was active, and he got another, and Voidlord is going to be cleaning up. Indiana Tech, for the first round in a lot of rounds, has secured another win, which means that it is going to be 9-6 here. Augusta still leading. However, Indiana Tech was able to secure another round, which is what we'd like to see on this side of the broadcast. Wilhelm putting out a strong performance there with a nice little 3K, and Voidlord also cleaning up there at the very end with a nice 2K. And let's see if they're able to keep making the magic happen. Lots of utility being ripped off, just being used off the rip there. That's what I meant to say. I had a little bit of a stroke. Don't mind me. G-Man having an opening pick on Wilhelm. Indiana Tech back to losing that first initial duel, which is really unfortunate because almost every round that's happened in this matchup, I believe Indiana Tech has lost. However, maybe we will see a change up here.
Destabilizing.
Looks like they are going to be executing on the C site. Being once again shooting that clone. Fast taking out Z-Killer. And it looks like AU is going to be making a quick rotate, going for a plant on A site. Cypher ult was used to spot locations. Taking Heaven here. Taking control of Heaven. He does have some... He did have crosshairs aimed at him, but not anymore. It looks like he wants to TP onto site. And the other Omen had the same idea. Empty Sky also getting a pick. Ping drops. No, he misses shots. Unfortunately goes down. Empty Sky getting into the action and helping out his teammate. He does go down to G-Man and Sewers. It is all down to Voidlord. He gets one. He's got to make something happen. No! Oh, that is devastating. Voidlord had the edge on Winter there. But unfortunately, Winter had the flick on him. That's not what you like to see. Not what you like to see. Unfortunate there. But it happens. It is 10-6. Indiana Tech is at a little bit of a deficit here. We got an instant replay.
It is all down to Voidlord. He gets one.
Good initial pick there by Voidlord. Let's see this. I mean, he had him in his crosshairs for at least like 1 to 2 seconds. That's a lot of time in Valorant. That's a lot of time in Valorant. That's like human years to dog years. That's how I will compare that. And I don't know what the correlation is beyond that, so I'll let you interpret. AU's vast. He's also a force to be reckoned with. Augusta University is constantly finding those initial picks. Voidlord able to take out G-Man there. It's a good pick to find, taking out one of AU's duelists. But is it going to be enough? AU pushing out onto A site here, scaling up. AU Winter getting taken out by M2 Sky. A little bit of an assist there as well. Vast taking out Ping. Vast goes down to M2 Sky. Voidlord goes down. M2 Sky goes down. And just like that, AU just cleaned the floor. You can see I'm losing energy, guys. I need my Indian attack to lock in. Let's get some hashtag TechYas in the chat. Let's get some hype going for Indiana Tech, because they got to make something happen. And quite frankly, I'm a little upset that we haven't used our timeout. I'm a little upset because AU has been consistently getting round after round, and I can't help but think that Indiana Tech is just soaking in their turmoil. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know what's happening. We're just getting a little sloppy, and we need to tighten up and lock in. Well, I'm going for some pop shots here. Unfortunately, finding no contact.
Fake teleport.
Looks like they are going to be pushing on to C-site once again. Indiana Tech has had their fair share of defenses on to C-site today. Hopefully they can pull something off here. Out comes a Sova ult. M2 Sky does find G-Man, but not after G-Man taking out Void Lord Wilhelm, picking out AU's Winter. It is still anyone's round here. Just like that. Even playing fields, Ping getting taken out. M2 Sky swinging vast. Wilhelm taking out Yepity. Indiana Tech is back up on players, but Talon is on the other side of the map, planting. And Vass finding M2 Sky on B site, using his ultimate, figuring out what the rest of Indiana Tech is. And Indiana Tech is going to be bum rushing A site, trying to find Talon. I think it's fair to assume that he's Heaven. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do about that. Talon going for a blind in a TP. And Wilhelm playing his ultimate it was very well. It was a good play. Unfortunately, he did not know that Cypher was right behind him the whole time. It is match point for Augusta University. And our players look to be locked in, but a little frustrated. Definitely frustrated, which if you're frustrated, you know what you do, chat? Do you know what you're supposed to do when you're frustrated in the middle of the enemy team winning constant rounds in a row? You use your timeout. It's a little late for that now, as it's match point for AU. This could be make it or break it. It's go time. It's right now. Indiana Tech has to make something happen here, otherwise it's over. And I believe that means we will be going to a third match for placements. Now if they lock in and somehow bring this back, well, then that'll be it.
It's you and me.
Recon Bolt coming out here on the C site. Oh, Wilhelm getting caught off guard. Winter winning his ones and his ultimate.
Spike planted.
And AU is going to get the plant off with a two-person life lead. Him using his ultimate just to kind of try and scout out. Z-Killer goes down. Down goes Ping. M2 Sky gets a pick. Yeah, oh, the shock dart did get one more. But AU mopping the floor with Indiana Tech. Devastating. That is not what you like to see. I don't have a whole lot to say other than that was a little sloppy coming from our team. Void Lord, however, was leading the entire lobby, 21-14. G-Man following close behind, 19-15. AU's Vast, 17-12, and then M2 Sky. We like calling him M2 Ski around here, but it's M2 Sky. 16-14. That's a defeat. That's a defeat, which means we are 1-1, which means that there will be a third map. Yeah, we're in it for the long haul here tonight, folks. We'll be going to... Oh, wow. That was a mouthful. We'll be going late tonight, but stay tuned for match 3. Hopefully it'll be better than what just happened. Stay tuned. We will be right back after a little bit of a break. Hopefully it's not as long as the last one. We'll be right back.
let's have a bit of fun till our downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
cold heart of mine. She really took a beating before you. You stuck through blizzards, winter nights with you. Now I'm blooming just for you. For you. There's nothing I wouldn't do. 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 For you. For you. For you. For you. you've had it quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy, look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand, you've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel, only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Yes, you've had it quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy, look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand, you've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel, only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger.
Don't wanna demand it. I've done what I can. And I never mentioned the times you were rude. And I never mentioned when you heard the truth. Scared to lose it all. I will stand a chance. And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? Got me saying away. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. Same mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. I don't like to leave things unresolved. Maybe it's madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call. You're causing me damage. I should've known, wasn't your fault. Don't even matter. I wasn't thinking clear, trying to take it there. Scared to lose it all. I won't stand a chance. And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me standing in the rain. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. Same mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake.
Welcome back. I know what I said. I said that I hoped that it wasn't going to be as long of a break. I hoped, but the hope, it was all in vain. I'm so sorry. It's not my fault, so I don't actually apologize, but I apologize that we had to go through this together. Well, not together because I was absent from the stream. You get the point. You get the idea. However, we are finally in lobby. We are loading up. We are getting into the agent selection screen here. Wow. Beautiful transition there. And you know what's great? Well, first off, we're up against St. Mary's University again, and you can see that. But oh, look at that. It's not Haven. We're not playing on the same map for the third time tonight. This is going to be last match, though. However this goes, this is it. This is where we get placed. And the end-all, be-all of tonight. Bind, though. I'm a fan of Bind. I like it. It's a good map. You can get a little goofy on it. I hope we don't get goofy. I hope we just roll through the rounds here. Because, you know, I've got food calling me. Or I'm calling the food. I don't know. I'm a hungry boy. I've not had dinner, and I'm a bit eepy. However, I will bring the energy for you guys on this last match. Absolutely, because that's what we do here in NECC. We bring the energy, we bring the passion. St. Mary's is going with, we got a few picks here that we haven't seen yet from them from the last match. We got a Raze, Cypher, Fade, Sky, and an Omen. NECC, we will be rolling in with the Viper, the Yoru, the Brimstone, the Raze, and of course M2 Sky on the Sova. He is a Sova one trick, if you could not tell. He loves the Sova. Sova is a great character, has some great util. By the way, speaking of, did you know that the drone cost 400 credits? That's highway robbery, if you ask me. Not that it matters all that much, but dare I say highway robbery. Yeah, so we're fighting St. Mary's University again. So, you know, after playing a match in between, we don't really know what to expect from these teams at this point. You'll have a bit of fatigue after playing, you know, enough Valorant games in a row. At least I do. I can only take so much Valorant playing personally, especially if I'm losing. Which we won the first one and then we lost, and hopefully we'll win again. hopefully it's like a 13-0 like it was last week's 13-0. We are heading into the action right now, and NECC is going to be on the offensive starting out here. And of course, St. Mary's University with Cypher. I mean, he's a great sentinel, but he's annoying to deal with. And here we go again, NECC, with getting first picked. Not getting the first pick, but getting first picked, which is not great. I don't think they struggled as much with this against MSU in the first round, but it's happening. And down goes Void Lord and Z Killer. I don't know, guys. This ain't looking too hot in the first round. However, we'll see if Ping and M2 Sky are able to make anything of this. Looks like Ping is going to go for the TP. Cypher is still there. So, it was all a ploy. M2 Sky trying to peek out showers, trying to find a pick. Not finding any contact here. Ping is going to be finding contact, unfortunately getting taken out. And it's all down. Yeah, M2 Sky down to 21 HP there. Isn't really able to do much about it. Not a good start. Definitely not a good start for us. But nonetheless, it's a start, right? You got to start somewhere. And losing first round, it's not end all be all. You do lose the initial momentum. And then you have to save the next round. So you lose momentum for the first two rounds. But then all you do, you 5-stack one site, you shoot them up, you plant the spike, get some economy back. Any picks you get on a save round like this are very strong for economy. It's what you hope for in rounds like this, as you aren't able to buy guns. Unfortunately, when people do have guns like this,
you get murdered. However, Wilhelm does get one with the shorty, which is very, very good. And looks like we're going to be having a little bit of a U-Haul fight here. Wilhelm with the shorty. Gets a little bit of chip damage there on the raise. And gets surrounded by the Omen there. Omen
Getting a nice little schnasty 3K. Not too shabby here from St. Mary's University. However, I will say that this is how the last match against them started. I believe they got... It was a little back and forth, but they had the edge at the beginning, and they did have a lead. They were up 5 to... I think we had 3, or maybe it was a 5-4 lead for SMU. But so hopefully Indiana Tech is now able to turn around. They have guns. They have util. Spotting this guy early with that recon bolts. Using that nade to clear out some corners. Of course, Cypher is still set up here on C. Oh, or on B. There's no C here. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on Haven. Voidlord does go down. M2 Sky goes down. That's 2 picks for the Cypher. Wilhelm does get the raise. Z-Killer with the judge.
Last player standing.
Ping getting a pick as well.
For the first time in this match here, Indiana Tech is on the up. That does not mean they have won yet. But they're holding it down. Z-Killer with just 2 HP, and he somehow manages to get that. That was a weird little spray there by Z-Killer, but he did secure it, getting him 3 kills there. Indiana Tech finally pulling off a round win there. And I say finally as if it wasn't just round 3, but Wilhelm here with that nasty double kill with the judge. That was very clean, very well executed by him. Good little lurk flank there. Here we go. Indiana Tech now has stopped momentum of SMU. 2-1. They are still leading against us. However, we got a round in, so hopefully we can not be upset of ourselves and actually do something with this. Create some momentum of our own. By chance, mayhaps. Slowing it down a little bit. Indiana Tech is going to be rotating over to B. Let's see if they end up actually committing to it. They are going to be grabbing this orb. Going to be seeing the same nade coming out here from Z-Killer. Clearing out that little pocket. He's going to double satchel onto site. Finding the Cypher. Wilhelm also finding the Sky. Taking her out of hookah. Indiana Tech at a severe advantage now. They got the spike planted and they're up in numbers by 2 players. And SMU is still kind of just sitting on A, slow walking up. I understand why the raise is, because she's closer to the action. I think they're just saving. They're holding their angles. They're just going for the save. Which, you know, it's respectable. I can commend that. They want to save their guns, and yeah, I guess we'll take the round win. We kind of got it for free. It's interesting though that you usually have your Cypher on one site so that you can get info without losing players, and then you rotate. You rotate to help the defense. They just didn't rotate. But they saved 3 guns, so maybe they just thought their economy was better at that point. And they were down numbers, so Indiana Tech would have had a lot of line of sight, a lot of different angles to shoot them from. So maybe it was a better call. I could be totally crazy. I could be wrong. Who knows? Rolling into round 5 here. It's tied up 2-2. And I believe, like, this is almost exactly how the first matchup went against SMU. It was back and forth. St. Mary's was holding a bit of the edge all along the way, and then
you know, second half comes around and we just kind of rolled through them. So we're kind of hoping for maybe the same outcome then. Well, definitely the same outcome because we won, but I digress. Round 5, not a lot has happened so far. A little bit of smokes here and there, some util. Of course, Cypher still set up on A side there. Wilhelm going for a wide swing. Faye throwing out her util. Raise nade going into showers. What a spray through the smoke there. Very nice. We did spot them, but it was still a good spray. They can always move. And Z-Killer taking out the enemy Raze. In heaven there. Fight breaking out in U-Haul. Void Lord goes down. Wilhelm taking a fight. And CT. M2 Sky getting a pick on the fade. Sky peeks out from heaven. Gets one, but gets taken out by Z-Killer for the 3K. NECC taking the lead for the first time in this map. That is what we like to see. That's hopefully they can keep the ball rolling here. Z-Killer having his ult. Got Raze ult, Brim ult, and Sova ult. A lot of post-plant ults here. And by a lot, I mean mainly just the Sova and the Brimstone are really good post-plant ultimates. You can definitely use them in other ways, and we've seen M2 Sky use Sova ult in a lot of different manners. Many different manners. So let's see how it goes here. It looks like MSU is getting aggressive once again, and we're getting a couple trades coming out here. MSU took a lot of damage on that push. Oh, and unfortunately that Raze messed up her satcheling. We did lose another in the process. It is a 3-on-3 battle to the death here.
Right here.
Oh, and Omen did try to pull off some shenanigans there. Unfortunately, he just did not pull it off quite quickly enough. And NECC is able to secure that round as well, bringing them up to a 4-2 lead. Once again, chat, get a quick little water break in here. Rehydrate. They say water's, you know, the best medicine. I don't know who says it, but somebody probably has. Maybe a doctor somewhere. But it is. And NECC finally getting some ground here to stand on, finding their footing in the dirt. So let's see if they're able to keep that footing or if they are going to slip back a little bit. Hopefully we keep it. Of course, I also hope that the break wasn't going to be as long, but the other teams had to finish up their matches.
Toxin screen down.
A complete split push here. By NECC. It's looking like they want to end B site. Cypher is, that's interesting. They are stacking A site heavy. They've got Cypher and 2 others on A site, which means that B site is going to be their best bet. B standing for best. Unfortunately, Wilhelm did not connect the shorty. And we are going to be seeing double satchel in with Z-Killer with the Raze ult. He's going to be running out into the spawn, trying to find somebody. Unfortunately, just does not get it. He's going to be running up elbow, trying to catch this Sky.
Spike planted.
He's looking. Finds her, does secure the pick. And here comes the Fade ult from MSU and the Raze ult. And the Raze is just unfortunately messing up her satchels. M2 Sky for 2, Z-Killer getting his second. It's all down to this Omen. And there it is, the final pick there from Ping, bringing NECC to a 5-2 lead. This enemy Raze is unfortunately just not finding her satchel placement. She just, if we rewatch this, she just kind of bonks into the ceiling and walks out to find M2 Sky waiting there for her, ready to take her life. Unfortunate there for St. Mary's, as they used 2 ults and unfortunately did not get anything out of it. Rolling in to round 8.
Toxins
Indiana Tech standing strong here. Ooh, that is a very tight angle being held there by the fade. Those are hard shots to hit, and when we saw that breakout right there, those tight angles are you gotta have really fast reaction times for that. Z-Killer just spraying through the smoke with that Phantom, trying to find something to connect. Doesn't find anything. About to see some contact there. Willem goes down, but not before Voidlord trading him. Evening the playing field back out down to the last 50 seconds here. Omen is the only one on B site. Indiana Tech is going to be pushing out onto B. B has been their site this time around. Z-Killer getting blinded by this guy, going for his bomb buddy. M2 Sky 1v1ing the Cypher, finding him out. Voidlord getting taken out by the Omen. Ping taking out the Sky. A little bit of a wall bang there. And there it is. The Omen being the last one alive once again and getting taken out. Z-Killer finding that last pick there. 6-2 Indiana Tech. Finding that strong lead that they needed. Again, a little bit of a rough start for them as it was the first time around with SMU, sorry, I'm dyslexic apparently, and we are going to be getting a little bit of a timeout here. And you know, Indiana Tech should have done that in the last match, but you know what we didn't do? We didn't use the timeout. Yes, I'm a little sour about it. I think we should have used a timeout. However, it's all right. These are just placement matches, so it's not end all be all with these matches. But you learn a lot from these matches because these are the teams that you're going to be playing throughout the season. So you get to learn about them, you get to learn about their playstyles, you get to learn about what you need to fix about your own playstyles and your team synergies, what maps work, what maps don't work, and then of course what agents work. So you get to find out a lot in these placement matches. SMU though, using their timeout, getting to stop Indiana Tech a little bit in their tracks, hopefully to try and break up their momentum. That's what they hope for. That's what any team would hope for in those timeouts. And we are on round number 9, so definitely a good time to be using a timeout before it's too late. And they also, you know, you get to talk about it. We always talk about what they talk about in the timeouts. We don't actually know what they talk about, but we know they talk about something.
Who's next?
And it looks like SMU pushed out B fast and hard just for Indiana Tech to be 5-stacking A site. I mean, incredible luck there for Indiana Tech that they just got site for free. Cypher is still there, and Indiana Tech is about to be surrounded. Nonetheless, Ping gets the opening pick on the Omen. Voidlord does unfortunately go down. M2 Sky takes out the fade, but he gets traded out by the Rays.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
Luckily, Indiana Tech was able to get the plant off generally pretty early. Z-Killer does go down though to Cypher, bringing Indiana Tech at a little bit of a deficit here. Wilhelm using his ult to his severe advantage, unfortunately gets taken out, which means no more Vibral. Ping getting caught in his util, and wait. That was timing. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I doubted us. I did, because that was terrifying. But Ping, beautiful ult there. Way to stop them dead in their tracks on that defuse. That was absolutely clutch. That won them the round. For sure. I mean, it may have been close, but he definitely won it for him. Barely, like it's half a second he got that off in time. Incredible. Incredible. 7-2 lead. Obviously, whatever SMU talked about was, you know, it worked. However, we clutched up, which is what we needed. It's what we needed in the last match too, but that's a-okay. And we're back to running it down on B side. SMU getting really aggressive with these defensive pushes. I don't quite understand it, but you know, it seems to be working at least this time around. It started to work last time around as well, but then Indiana Tech locked in. Just like that. Void Lord, 2 picks. Zeke Killer, another. And there's a third for Void Lord. Leaving it all down to the Sky. Lonely little Sky. I would run 2. Pants down, pull him back up, get out of there. Save your gun. It's not worth it. Spike is already, you know, about halfway. Exploding. A 1v4. It's very unlikely to win. If you're that guy, then, you know, I guess you could be that guy. But already going to the player cams here. Attackers won. That's right. 8-2 lead for Indiana Tech. Man, our players don't look very happy to be winning. Just a bunch of sulking guys. They're just there. They're just here. They beat him the first time, so they're hoping to beat him again. It's looking on the up. We got the Omen leading off the pack for SMU, 8-7. And then Z-Killer leading off our pack, 12-4. Z-Killer performing tonight very well in this round, or in this map, excuse me. We've had a few different players in each map popping off a little bit. First map was... Hold up, we'll lock in. There's a lot of things happening. Wilhelm gets the opening pick. The vault was used. Operator taking out Void Lord. Anyways, what I was saying, Ping, MVP, first go round, then Void Lord. And Ping and Z-Killer getting some opening picks. And it looks like in this one, Z-Killer is bringing the performance out. Pulling out all the stops here. Here comes the party! Z-Killer taking out Fade, but getting taken out by the enemy Raze. And it looks like we are going to be getting the plant off on A. And just collapse on top of that, on that Raze. This is what we're hoping for here, guys. Looking for the strong lead. And we've got it. Now, as long as we don't lose it. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, that we don't lose it. 14-5 for Z-Killer. Ping falling not too far behind with 9-5. M2 Sky 7-5 after that. SMU's in about the same position they were. They gotta make something happen here. Indiana Tech has a lot of momentum. They can't unfortunately use the timeout. They already used that one. But this half is nearly over. So we'll see if they're able to make anything of it. Indiana Tech going for the bum rush on A side again. Z-Killer getting taken out early there. M2 Sky getting hit with a Raze nade to the dome. M2 Sky taking out the Raze through the smoke.
Spike planted.
Here comes a Fade ult coming out. Indiana Tech already have the plant off though. M2 Sky finding the Fade. But Wilhelm getting taken out by the Outlaw. There's the dog going into the showers, spotting Void Lord. Oh, what a flank there, taking out Ping. SMU. Oh, and they are able to secure the round. And taking the first round in a while. It's been a few rounds, but they came back. And they got the defense going there. And I believe this is going to be last round in the hat. Nope. I lied. That was last round in the half. Don't listen to me, chat. I know how to count. I know how to count. And I hope you guys do too. That was first half. Indiana Tech leading 9-3. Still a strong lead. Z-Killer leading off our pack. Like I said. Yeah. Omen on SMU's team. Bringing it up a notch. Getting 10-8. And then their Cypher following not too far behind with 7-9. Indiana Tech though, rolling in here. on the defense, you know, we're hopeful. We're hopeful they're able to bring back the momentum they just had. They only lost 1 round after winning several in a row. They're in a good spot. However, this is Valorant, so, you know, who's to say? Wilhelm getting the opening pick, though, and we've been struggling getting the opening pick many times to come. However, we've been finding it a lot more against St. Mary's University. It looks like M2 Sky is going to be... M2 Sky, I've been a little, you know, I've got a bone to pick with him. He's been underperforming tonight. It's okay. You know, we have our nights. But I got a bone to pick. Wilhelm! That's 2 for Wilhelm there, taking out the enemy Sky. Bringing in NECC up in numbers. Z-Killer spotting the Omen. Unfortunately not hitting the nade that he wanted to. Throwing his satchel, trying to disrupt the plant. It does work. SMU not able to plant quite yet, but they are able to take out Z-Killer. They just collapsed on top of him in showers. And now, it has been turned in favor of MSU. Void Lord going heaven. Looking to try and find somebody. He does spot the fade behind the boxes. And Wilhelm for 3, taking out the Raze. Wilhelm does go down to the enemy fade. It is all down to Void Lord. They hear his footsteps. They heard that he dropped, but where could it be? Left or right? Well, he was right, and now he's left, but unfortunately, he's running out of time. And he has 1 bullet left in the chamber. Misses it, so now he's just dancing. Fade with a 3K as well. It looks like SMU is starting to build up some momentum of their own. Omen is still leading their pack, but they're spreading out the kills a little bit more through their team. Z-Killer still leading with 14 and 7. And now, NECC only has a 5-round lead. I say only 5 rounds. 5 rounds is a lot of rounds to have in Valorant. However, it is also Valorant, in which case I mean that anything can happen. And we've already seen SMU take 2 rounds in a row so far.
Blinding.
Winning that first round in the second half for them, getting them the early economy. Able to buy guns. That's what you do with economy. And M2 Sky, just, I mean, you know, not everyone's ready for that placement. Somebody being playing there, but unfortunately they had the duelist entry there and it worked out. And now they're just snowballing over us. A little unfortunate. Good for SMU. Good utility usage, good execution here onto B site. It looks like the Raze will be getting a 3K. Z-Killer, I think he's just going to look for the exit frags here, hoping that somebody comes hookah and he's able to just shorty shotgun them in the face. And it... Oh, the Raze was thinking about it. Raze thought about going in hookah. Unfortunately, this is going to be a round loss here for us. And yeah, they're just going to take the TP and get out of there. Or not even TP. Some of them are going long. Okay. Looking for that exit frag. They're not going to find it. Z-Killer also looking for the exit frag. And he has accepted his fate. He's going into the bomb. All right, that brings SMU to a closer match here. It is 9-5. NECC is still leading by 4 rounds. But is it going to be enough? It looks like Raze is going to be taking the top spot from their Omen. 11 and 10. The Omen's still at that 10 and 8. And then Fade tied up there with the 10 kills and 10 deaths. And NECC still sitting about the same at the scoreboard. So not much to say about that. They lost the past 3 rounds. They pushed the aggressive push, or the aggressive defense there, and it's working out for them, just like it was for SMU. Wait, yeah, I know how to talk. A lot is happening. Raze is popping off again. They are dialed in. NECC going for the rotate here, going for the post plant here. Well, they haven't planted yet, but SMU is looking to plant on A site. They hear the Sova drone, so they might reconsider. And the Raze trying to fire in the hole, but finds nothing. It is now down to a 1v1 against the Cypher to M2 Sky. Like I said, I've been a little disappointed by his performance so far, but it's redemption time. It's redemption time, Empty Sky. Let's see it happen. You're on the wrong side, but the wraparound goes crazy because he thinks you're right there. There are 45 seconds left, so he's got a lot of time. Both players have a lot of time. A lot of time to plant, a lot of time to lurk. What M2 Sky doesn't know is that Cypher's still on A.
Left.
And at this point, I would say that he should know. But there are still 20 seconds left, and the Cypher still hasn't planted. But M2 Sky still hasn't moved. He's holding this, expecting the Cypher to come to him, but he is going to be planting on A site.
10 seconds left.
And there's the plant. And now, M2 Sky is on the move. He is going to be going through spawn, but it looks like Cypher is going to be playing U-Haul here. And Cypher will be hearing his footsteps. But with the timing, M2 Sky doesn't really have much of a choice. Going for the recon dart here. Dog was destroyed, so he knows that Cypher's main. Cypher knew it was a fake. Oh, dude. If he would have just held it. Unfortunate there by M2 Sky. If he would have just held it. He didn't know that he could have held it. And it was right to tap, I think. I think that was the right choice to tap and peek it. But unfortunately, that Cypher was not having it. He just stayed behind that box. St. Mary's getting ever so closer to shattering our lead. Bringing themselves 6-9. Indiana Tech still leading by 3 rounds. And the Rays still holding the top spot there for SMU. Looks like they are going to be stacking a couple in showers here. Wilhelm watching the long. The Rays executing out to Gardens, gets taken out. Wilhelm also taking out the Fade in the process. Wilhelm and M2 Sky do go down to the Omen. He unfortunately had a gun. They had guns too, just smaller guns. And unfortunately, the bigger guns typically win the fights. One minute left here. But that's plenty of time for SMU to make something happen. They are going to be taking their sweet time. Ping on the B site here. Ping is going to be waiting in elbow. Waiting for them to execute. He seems to know.
30 seconds left.
So does Z-Killer. Here's some contact. Who wins? And unfortunately, it's going to be the Omen getting a 3K.
Spike planted.
Ping still sitting elbow.
Launching smoke.
Omen doing a crazy TP, and unfortunately it means that Ping ran out of ammo. That's a 4K for the Omen. Void Lord, just don't fight it. Don't let him get the ace. Or do. I mean, it's up to you. Looks like he's going to be going elbow with his clone. Out comes the bird. And Omen's in a yeah, that's unfortunate there. Void Lord did find the pick on the Cypher, but that brings St. Mary's University to a 7-9. They're catching up. We had a 7-round lead, and we are losing 5 rounds in a row now. So hopefully Indiana Tech. Hey, you know what, guys? You know what would be great right now? You know what sounds so good right now? Well, first off, the Taco Bell that I'm going to get after this. But secondly, a timeout. A timeout would be phenomenal. They have won 5 rounds in a row, and Indiana Tech is just refusing to take a timeout. Lighting up the Rays a little bit in showers. Not finding the kill though. SMU looking to go B site here, it looks like. Going for a little bit of a rotondo. Going ever so slowly until they are ready to execute onto site. We are going to be using Viper all on B site. Trying to slow them down a little bit. Oh, yes, Z-Killer. Z-Killer throwing a nade through the teleporter. And an M2 Sky finding 1, 2. Will he find the third here?
Thirty seconds left.
The last two are going to be Hookah. But, I mean, yeah, you just have a Viper on B. So it looks like they are going to be waiting this out. And there's a 3K there for M2 Sky. He is going to be doing a recon arrow, trying to find the Viper. He has not reloaded. And his teammate also mollied him. He does die to the fade, but Indiana Tech is going to secure that round. Wilhelm gets taken out as an exit frag, but the fade gets taken out as well. What a fascinating round that was. Some interesting plays there. But Indiana Tech finally, after losing 5 rounds in a row, finally got a round back, bringing them to a 10-7 lead. So, yeah, you know, it's good. It's a good thing that we finally got one back. And I know that our players are happy to see that 10 finally on the board after so many rounds of fighting and losing, quite frankly. But that was well played. Good Viper roll there on the last round there. Here comes... This is what I'm saying about M2 Sky. He just randomly throws out the Sova. Like, what are these ults? He throws them out randomly, but he gets the picks. There's 2 for him. Z-Killer, it's down to just the fade. Fade is going to put up a fight, though. There's 2 for the fade. And gets taken out by M2 Sky for a 3K. That's the thing about Valorant. A lot of times it's very slow and then very sudden. But this time around, it was just very quick, very fast pace. Bringing Indiana Tech to an 11-7 lead. And of course, St. Mary's University is going to be utilizing their timeouts because, well, quite frankly, they're actually good at utilizing those. It's working out for Indiana Tech this time around. However, I still think they should have used the timeout when St. Mary had that five round win streak. But who am I to say? I am merely a bronze player. I have no right to say, but I do because I am the guy in the mic. So not in the mic, I'm in the camera. I am in your walls, actually. You should go check in your closet right now. I know you're watching this and you actually are kind of wondering now if I'm in your closet right now. I might be. I could be in your walls. Check your walls. Anyways, so timeouts have been utilized by SMU. And we're going to be getting back into the action very shortly here. I hope you enjoy the bits. They're not bits. It's real life. I'm in your walls. I'm serious. Okay, I'll probably stop doing that bit. My producer keeps looking at me like I'm a madman, which is true. I am a madman. I've been here for a few hours, to say the least. Yeah. So, anywho, I am totally stable. I am a totally stable, emotionally and physically human being. It looks like SMU is going to be absolutely 5-man pushing A site, taking out Ping initially there. Wilhelm answering by taking out the Sky, and M2 Sky with a 2K. Voidlord with a nice little wallbang there. And there's the final kill by Wilhelm. All right, Indiana Tech, lock in. I'm ready to go home.
Match point.
I'm ready to go home. I'll say it. I'll be the guy to say it, okay? There's only so much we can do. All right.
We're here for it.
We're here for the victory. The last map wasn't the best. You know, a very sad, unfortunate loss. Z-Killer still leading our pack with 19 and 9, and then closely behind him, 18 and 11. So we'll see if NECC is able to wrap this up here, or if they're gonna let it go on a little bit longer. Ping trading the fate for his own life. Void Lord getting a pick there on the Raze, getting taken out by this guy in the process. And it looks like they are going to be getting a little bit of an upper hand here. Wilhelm. It's all down to Wilhelm. I believe in Wilhelm. Do you guys believe in Wilhelm? Hashtag tech yeah in the chat. W Wilhelm. Let's see it. He's going to make it happen. I've got a feeling. Because I think he's ready to call it a night. Check your corners, please. He did not. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. He got, you know, he was fighting, and
he got a little bit, you know, one-way blinded there, and didn't check his corners. That's all right though, because he would have just gotten swung. Okay,
it's all right.
Still up 4 rounds. NECC has just a tiny bit of wiggle room. Not much. A little bit of wiggle room. But if they give up any more rounds, really, it's gonna be, they're gonna get in their heads, I think. So I want them to wrap this up for their own sakes, because I don't want them to be in a bad mood, you know. A lot of util coming out here. Here comes the party. Down goes Void Lord, down goes Z-Killer, down goes Ping. NECC's finest getting taken out left and right here.
Oh, and that's 3 for the Raze. She gets taken out by Wilhelm. Wilhelm goes down to the Omen. Like I said, we got to lock in. All right, 12 to 9. But SMU is not very far. They are oh so close, and very close to being able to take the lead. Too close. Too close for my comfort. I am very uncomfortable with this situation. I'm scared. You know what? I would love for us to win this. I would love for us to win this. I think we need this. But in order to win it, that means we have to play smart. Play smarter than a lot of the rounds we have been in this map. However, we do have ult advantage this time around, as opposed to last round. We have lots of ults. We can play lots of post plant. We can cancel their plant. We've got lots of utility to use here. Lots of utility. So what I say we should do, and it's what we're doing right now, play slow, wait for the contact of the enemy team, and go from there. We've got a strong post plant with this lineup of agents. Very strong post plant. So I think we're playing this beautifully. It's slow, yes, but it's what we need. Z-Killer, he gets a little pop shots off. Does not find the kill. It is still going oh so slow, but it looks like SMU is going to be going for the rotate over to B site. And we're going to have a couple people there and ready to take on these fights. But soon enough, we are going to need to rotate. And that's some good chip damage against the Raze. And no space gathering for her. M2 Sky gets a pick, but not before going down. Wilhelm getting 2. He also goes down. NECC is still up 1. And that's what I'm talking about. The post plant, or canceling the plant with the Brim ult. That's what you want to see. Unfortunately, Z-Killer did go down. They are going to get the plant off in the nick of time. Void Lord getting the final 2 picks. And you guys, that is it. We did it. All right, we're here for it. Congratulations to NECC's finest Valorant team. We had our ups and downs. It was let's be honest, everyone, it was a rough night. We had a lot of good plays, but it was rough. First match was probably our best. Leaderboard wise, 3 of our players were on the top of the leaderboard. M2 Sky, 19 and 14. Z-Killer, just shy behind with 19 and 12. But it was a fairly good night. Are we doing? We are, because we won that last one at least, and the first one. We won twice against SMU. We are going to be bringing you, of course, the post-match interview, because we're Indiana Tech. That's why. Don't question it. Stay tuned. We will be right back with the post-match interview. We're going to wrap this thing up. Stay tuned. everybody, and welcome back to the post-match interview. I've got lovely Ping here with us tonight. All right, since you were map MVP on the first map, let's talk about first map, like what went well. You guys it was a little rough at the start of map 1, but then you guys, I mean, you turned it around pretty quick and rolled through the rest of it. So lead me through map 1 a little bit. What was happening? What were the comms and talks and all that?
Yeah, I think we started the game off very well. Our first few rounds on pistol and after pistol were pretty rough, but as soon as we got into our default and get into the normal procedure we do every map, started to shoot well, and I was shooting very well first half especially.
Yeah, cannot beg to differ against that. Map 2, I got some smiles in the back of the room, but they're not happy smiles. They're, oh my gosh, what happened smiles. So what did happen in map 2? I mean, they seem to have gotten the opening pick almost every round. That was pretty rough. I know that was kind of a part of it. But lead me through some of that. What were your guys' thoughts? Obviously, I'm sure team mood was a little down at that time. Like, what? I have some other thoughts, but I'll let you answer that first.
I think partially it was the burnout from the first map. We played really well in Haven, so I think it was bound we were gonna have a little bit of a rough second game on the same map. But we were playing a little bit too fast into a competitive comp that should have been played slower. So we gave them too much time, and they were kind of just hugging it out, just running it down, shooting us. So they did that better than us in that game. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. So my biggest thing with map 2, where was the timeout call? Not that timeout solved everything, but after losing 5 rounds in a row, like, I don't know. I feel like typically you would want to stop and like at least try and stop their momentum with a timeout and then like kind of talk things out. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Our coach actually had to leave after the first 2 rounds in map 2, so we didn't have a coach to call timeouts for us. So I think we're not used to calling timeouts ourselves, so we didn't really think of it.
Okay.
So we definitely should have done that though. I think.
Definitely.
I totally agree with you.
Understandable though. Yeah. And then map 3, you got to face St. Mary University again, and I mean that went about how the first map went.
Yeah.
I think any other thoughts on map 3 at all, or like
a little bit of trolling at the end? I think we could have been a bigger blowout, but we wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. So.
Yeah, lost a few rounds there at the end. I got a little worried. I'll admit, it got up to 12-9 or whatever it was, and I was like, all right, fellas, let's wrap it up here. Not only because I wanted to go home, but like, yeah, it was just a really close to call. But yeah, any other wrapping up thoughts?
Ready to watch game 3 for GLEC to keep us undefeated. We play Manchester University. We have a very good top 3 ranked team probably for GLEC for us, so it'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And be back here tomorrow around the same time. It'll be Rocket League, of course. It'll be Rivals. Forgive me. I'll learn the schedule event. It's new this semester. Marvel Rivals. It is going to be. It's new. It's fresh, and be here for that. That's going to be exciting. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and have a great night. See you guys.